Ever since I became a digital marketing consultant, a lot of people wanted to jump on that train. And the number one question I get is, do I need a marketing degree? Do I need to go to college or university to be a digital marketing consultant or even just a freelance marketer? The straight answer is absolutely not. And you've got to be very, very cautious. You got to be very, very cautious. Listen, guys, you don't want to end up with, as they like to say, egg on your face. You don't want to be the one holding the bag at the very end. And university is sort of coming to this dark ending. The price has gone up so much. The teachers have become so poor. They're very, very poor. They're very self-interested. They're not there to teach you and give you a great education. They're often far too liberal. They don't have enough balanced approaches. Universities end up becoming extremely biased. And that's just the way it's gone, right? And so you have to understand the world and how it's been to see that, oh yeah, university isn't the thing anymore. College isn't the thing anymore, because there's a thing called opportunity cost, right? Every time you spend your money on something, you are missing the chance to spend it on something else. And college and university has another terrible opportunity cost, and that's that it takes 4 years. At least. Most people take 5 or 6. It's an absolute joke how long university is going to take you to complete. In the modern time, that's not how work is. You don't need such a wide variety of study. You really want to master some processes. You really want to sort of know something very precisely and start practicing it and building upon it. And university doesn't really give you that chance to gain a lot of momentum. A lot of people have money riding on this decision, to go or not to go, to stay, to quit. So I think we should break this down for at least 10, 15 minutes. And I'm going to do that today in today's video. Just going to be talking about university, yes or no. I'm going to give you a balanced answer. We're going to look at the pros and cons, and then we're going to look about how to take the action if you don't want to go to university. I did not study marketing in university, not a single ounce. I learned everything I know about marketing on the internet. I learned it through practice. I learned it through working on actual live projects. Let's go through university first and why, I wouldn't be going at this time probably. It's not cheap. Let's start there. I looked it up. If you stay in state or you stay local, yeah, you can get away with maybe 10 grand college education. But if you're going out of state, if you're trying to get a great school, if you're trying to go to Ivy League, you are talking about an astronomical number, okay? 4 years, 80,000 plus, even higher. You can find lower, no doubt, but we're talking about big numbers here, okay? And the fact is, most of y'all are not ready to make that decision yet. You're not. You're not ready to commit that kind of money. You're not ready to commit to that kind of life. You're not ready to be like, you know what? I know exactly who I am and I'm ready to go. I never saw that. I went back to university when I was around 25. And even I still didn't know a lot about what I wanted to do. I started in sciences, kind of ended up more in law, so things can really surprise you inside of college and university. And I think that it's changed a lot, I mean, I don't even know if university is as fun as it used to be. I mean, especially now, what I enjoyed about university was meeting, women, doing fun things, studying with friends. I mean, those fun things seem to be dwindling. I certainly wouldn't want to go to university remotely. I mean, I'm not going to do that for 4 years. I'm not going to sit with those bullshit teachers for 4 years while they like half-ass their way through these remote courses. I mean, as a remote teacher, I know what it takes to give your students a great experience and the community elements that go into it. And the professors just, they don't care. Okay, so they're not going to give you a good remote education, that's for sure. And the macro side of things, I mean, the world is changing, guys. Like a lot of the core university and college topics are becoming what you would call legacy. Okay, they are not going to be the future. They are sort of in maintenance, right? Like you can't really go to university right now to learn AI robotic surgery, and yet they're going to be teaching the fundamentals of physiology and the basics of that. I guess my point is that they're going to still have to teach a lot that's not really going to be how the world works in 10 years. And I think when you go to university, you're supposed to make the investment and assume that it's going to pay off in a 30-year window, 20 to 30 years, right? Like you're buying a career path. You are accessing knowledge and training, and you're trying to come out ahead. And the problem I see with that is that most people don't have that competitive nature about them when they're in university. They don't. In law school it was very competitive, but before that, people aren't competing with each other. They don't care about each other. They don't care how others are doing. They don't have that fire to be the best. I mean, most people get good grades in university because they're afraid of their parents, because they're afraid of failure, not because they're passionate about their industry or they love what they do. I mean, we're going into a world of AI, machine learning, automation. Okay, this stuff's going to disrupt finance, legal, medicine, engineering, HR. So many industries are being disrupted in these past decades and will continue to be disrupted in the future years. University is going to be disrupted, and I'm one of those disruptors. I mean, I'm creating an online education that I believe is far superior to university. I believe you're much more likely to get a job, much more likely to protect yourself in the long run. Because courses don't examine you on your skills. They examine you on your university courses rarely examine you on your skills. They examine you on knowledge retention, on applications that are very text. You write a paper, you write a quiz, you write an exam. Is that real life? Not really, right? So all those things add up to concerning me as to whether we should really be considering university as our path, right? And it's like, it's not even a sure thing to get a good job. You realize that, right? You realize if you make a few mistakes in university, you're not even going to get a job. If you make a few mistakes in your university path, you're not going to get a job. If you choose the wrong major and you lead yourself astray, if you fall in love and don't study hard, if you bomb one of the key critical component courses and you have to retake a full year, like there's a bunch of mistakes you can make. And yet amidst all that risk, you don't even guarantee yourself a job. Okay. When I went to law school, they kept telling us that like 90% of people get jobs, but that's not the case. That's a lie. 90% of the people they're able to contact maybe have a job. But guess what? People who don't have a job don't really love chatting with their alumni so much years down the road. But what good is it if there's no alternatives, right? But there is alternatives. This can't be the first video you've watched on this topic. And it's just like, digital marketing and university is an oxymoron. It's a joke. It's a joke, right? You cannot learn the world's fastest paced industry in a university. University is for classical knowledge, okay? And digital marketing is not classical in any sense. Certainly there's marketing foundations, but you're not going to find out like how to recut your TikTok video for Instagram Reels in a university course. And yet that is the tactic that people are using today to grow their businesses. I mean, what the fuck are you going to do with a university piece of paper that didn't even teach you the basics of digital marketing, because the platforms have changed by the time the curriculum gets to you, right? So if you like marketing, if you like digital marketing, if you want to be in brand building, if you want to start e-commerce, drop shipping, your own blog, you want to have your own channel, you're going to be on Twitter, whatever it is, you're not going to go to university. That is the wrong play. Unless your parents are happy to pay for it for you and pay it off for you and they don't care, then you can go to university, but actually do a side hustle and focus on your side hustle and just get by in university. I think that's okay. But I mean, that's up to you and your parents, right? I mean, each to their own, right? So if you want to get into digital marketing, put university and college on hold and start creating your own real life experience education program. Okay. So it's going to be online. It's going to be free to start. You can get YouTube videos, articles, and podcasts, free courses. And then maybe you can invest in a few paid courses like mine or some other ones if you really are serious. Like, that's the amazing thing, guys. So many people go to college and they don't even pick what they like. They don't even know what they like. They don't taste what they like, and they're already overcommitted. You spend all this time on your application, all the stress, and you don't even know what you're picking, you know? And that's why they give you a year or two. But dude, that's only like 10 courses with guaranteed 5 shitty teachers. You're not going to find what you love. You find what you love out of curiosity, not curriculum. Okay. And I think that if you're curious about digital marketing, if you're curious about content creation, if you're curious about online brand building, great. You're probably going to do really well in this industry. Okay. But forget about curriculums in college. What you want to do is try to get an internship or do a self-driven project. Okay. That's what I did. I did self-driven projects. Every time I learned something, I applied it in a online form. Learning SEO, got to start a blog. Learning video marketing, got to start a YouTube channel and a funnel. You know, like, want to learn email marketing, set up a lead magnet and an automated sequence. You know, it just keeps going on. And I think what's amazing is, like, you come out of college in debt. The worst thing that happens of doing 3-4 years on a alternative study path is you won't be in debt. You might actually have an asset already. Could you imagine blogging for 4 years as your homework instead of doing university assignments that no one will ever read and your prof doesn't give 2 shits about what you said? They don't. They don't give a shit about what you say in your homework or your assignment. They're getting paid to check the box. So just think about that again. 4 years. Let's call it 40K. 4 years gone, 40K gone, no one cares about you, no clear path, following everybody else, competitive, overpriced, undervalued, versus no time commitment, no financial commitment, no debt, no teachers you don't like, only the courses you do like, only the topics you're curious in, but you must commit. And you must start the blog, you must start the video channel, you must start the website, you must start the store. And then everything you learn can apply to your store, can apply to your website. Maybe you don't make a lot, but at least you could see the wheels in motion. Like, you're going to sit in a university class and try to pretend you're building a business online? Like, give me a break, right? So instead, I would work for free. I'd rather work for free than go to university. Especially if you want to be in this industry, you're going to see actual live things. Learning on other people's money is the smartest thing you can do. Low risk, real life action. Okay, get experience. You got to learn to talk to people. A lot of people go to university, they don't even end up talking to anybody. Like, they're shut in. They're what's that word? They're introverted. No problem. So was I. I hate meeting people that aren't interested in what I'm interested in. And that's the thing, right? University majors, they're not specific enough. You rarely find people who are on similar paths. And so the niche education world online, you get to join people who are exactly like you, who want exactly what you want and can help each other get it. It's just 10 times better. If you follow a guy named Jack Butcher, you might have heard of something called the Permissionless Apprenticeship. And that's kind of like what I'm talking about. It's like, go do a project for an influencer and see if they'll hire you, right? Like, go make a cool video for Gary Vee, see if he hires you. That's how D-Rock did it, right? I've hired a bunch of people who make stuff for me. So the permissionless apprenticeship is becoming the new online norm where you just go and do it. If you made a video for me, do you think I'd get mad? No. If you made a blog post for me, would I get mad? No. Would I hire you? Maybe not. But would I ever get mad? No. And I'd be interested in you because you did something for me. And I'd be like, huh. That's interesting. He must really like what I'm talking about, right? Every day I get emails in my inbox of people who want free stuff from me. Hey, can you talk about us on your YouTube channel? Hey, do you want to be an affiliate? Hey, can you sell this for us? And I'm not interested in any of those things. I don't want some shitty affiliate product on my channel. And these people think they can just get to me like that. They can't. You can't get to me anymore like that. You got to impress me to open up the doors. And that's just the way it is. And I want to teach you something really quick that's off topic. My YouTube channel is 13,000 subscribers as of today, and that's a lot for this industry and for what I'm doing. You don't need a lot of subscribers to make a lot of money and to gain a lot of authority. In fact, a niche channel should not have that many subs. It should be more engaged. It's more critical that the comments and likes are all engaged. I almost get 100% thumbs up. It's more important than being viral. It's more important than growing. Too many people do growth, okay? And it's great, but it's not as important as making money and building a business. So I just want to keep that perspective that like you don't have to be a 1 million follower YouTuber influencer to make a lot of money, guys. Guys, this guy with less than 10,000 subscribers last year, getting very close to mid 6 figures as a digital marketing consultant. Mid 6 figures. Okay, I went to law school. I put $80,000 on that. I'm still paying it off. I think I'm down to 18. What was I going to say? Thought law was going to pay me well. Looked at the salaries as I was starting to graduate. I realized that I was looking at a $65,000 first year before tax. It was going to take me 7 years to get to about $130,000. And I'd have to buy in as a partner after 7 years. I'm already making twice as much as I would have been making as a lawyer in my partner years. And I have a much more flexible life. As a partner, you work 50 to 60 hours, grinding, you have to love it. And in Vancouver, where I was at the time, like the job supply was poor. We have 3 law schools in our province. We have far too many lawyers. So that's why I went to Hong Kong. I said, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy the 3rd year of my university in law school. And I'm just going to do something else probably. Like I didn't like law after year 1. I knew it wasn't for me. I remember in my 2nd year telling a 3rd year, like, I hate this, I got to get out. And she's like, yeah, everyone says that in year 2. First year is exciting. Year 2 is a drag. So back to your alternative plans, because I am a sample of both. I can tell you from both. I've been to a 2-year diploma program. I've done 3 years of university, 3 years of law school, and I've done everything you can think of online to practice and learn. I'm 37 today, and I do not recommend university or college for young people who want to get into this business. And I'm going to keep telling you more reasons. Listen, the future of work is online, right? So why shouldn't the future of education be? Do you really think universities are going to be around in 10 years? And therefore, do you really think that diplomas and degrees are that worthwhile? I'll tell you something. I didn't hire anyone full-time this year, but I've hired some half-time people and I've hired some quarter-time people, which is more and more common, not full-time work. I never looked at one resume. I never asked someone where they went to school. I asked them, what are you doing? What do you like doing? What do you want to do? Because I want people who love the work, because that's more important. We all have been going through life in the last few decades, focused on money, focused on escaping the rat race. In the end, you have to realize if you don't love what you do, it's going to be really difficult to persist, okay? As you go on your permissionless apprenticeship, as you study online, as you build an online world around yourself, you have to join some online communities. You got to make connections. You got to build a network. This is going to be what creates deal flow. Your network is going to help you find deals for yourself, help you find opportunities, jobs, clients. It's all there, but you got to start building that network. And that's why in our business, we have a community, because we believe that's a critical component of the learning process, that you have a support network. I mean, could you imagine skipping out on university and choosing this path and just doing it all by yourself? I mean, show your parents this video. I don't care. I mean, the fact is they don't know what's going on. They probably don't own any cryptocurrency. They probably think degrees are how you get jobs. They haven't been clued in, right? They're probably not someone that's running a business, so they don't know. And it's going to be tough for some of you. And so university still carries this strong bias of good value, but, you know, just not the case. Another bias university has is that it biases you through location, you know, like, oh, you go to Boston U, oh, you go to UCLA, oh, you go to Harvard, whatever. Like, you're really attracting people in regions, not topics. And I think that when we went to elementary school and high school, we create our friendships and our relationships from proximity. Because someone lived near us, we committed to them. That is breaking down, right? I mean, you no longer choose your relationships based on proximity. You choose them based on values and interests. And so education should mimic that, if you ask me. And I don't think it does right now. And so I think these online communities and niche courses are going to give people much better experiences when they're learning and when they're surrounding themselves with other people who are ambitious like them and not wanting to partake in all of the other rigmarole that comes with the university stress and challenges. You know, university is hard for some people. Some people really take it very stressful because they're forced to learn things they don't really care about. And so everything feels like this pressure to go, learn, consume, memorize. And that's not really the foundation of great education. So let's pull this back a bit. What should you do? Save all the money from university. Okay? Use it to invest in yourself. Take that $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 and say, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to be building businesses not because I'm special, because that's the way the world's going. We're all becoming these independent merchants, independent service providers. You can believe me or not, but the big corporation, the big agency, those things are going away. The subcontractor, the freelancer, the half-time manager, the quarter-time product designer, that's the future, guys. You need to invest that money in your body, your mind, and your spirit. Maybe it's not a lot, but you need to take this action now, is that I'm out of high school. I'm growing into an adult. I may not be ready today. Am I even ready at 37? Not really. But I need to take control of my life, and I have to be responsible now for my body, my mind, my spirit. I am responsible now. My parents are not responsible anymore. And so I have to make the investments. I have to have the conviction of my decisions. I have to pay the price. If you want to be wealthy or you want to make money in your life, please recognize you must take a risk. If you do what everyone else does, you're going to get the exact same results. So you better be ready to take a risk. And that's fine. It's okay to fail. But if you never take a risk in anything, don't expect much. Don't expect greatness. You cannot have greatness without some element of risk. And that's what I love about content creation in this world that I'm in is it's very low risk. You just build it a little bit at a time. You don't put a lot of pressure on yourself, right? Building skills. That's really all you should be thinking about right now. How do I increase my skills? Instead of how do I take this degree? How do I get this paper? How do I get this job? How do I build my skills and become valuable? That's what you should be thinking about. You want to take micro courses. You want to do hands-on projects. You want to intern and apprentice. You want to work with other people who are already doing things. Straightforward. Okay, and so with all this skills, guess what? When you have better skills, taking those risks are not so bad. If you've never heard me say it, skills are what protect you in the future, right? Your job can be automated. Your job can be taken away. Things can change. A company can go out of business. And so skills will protect you. And so that's why we focus on skills. I teach skills. It's the only thing you need. Once you have skills, life changes. It really does. Most people have a job. They don't actually have skills. They can do the process their job needs, and that's it. And so if they go somewhere else, they have to be retrained. You don't want to be in that position. You want to be thought of as an expert who can come in and help, right? You could also take that money and buy Bitcoin or buy real estate. Like get some assets under your belt instead of a debt load for college that you don't even need the degree anymore. I mean, that's just what it is, right? So maybe you take 10% and put it in Bitcoin. Maybe you take 30% of your money and you get a rental property and you learn how to be a business operator, how to manage money. I think that's so much more valuable today than that university degree. Looks like we're coming up on 25 minutes, so I'm going to try and wrap this up pretty quick here. The last thing I would do is travel and have life experience. I think my life experiences have been so critical for me as a marketer to have more perspective, to have more empathy and compassion, to see different ways of living. And that allows you to speak to different avatars and write better copy and set your pricing more fairly. You know, that's an important part of marketing because we're in a global world now. So you don't want to just live in Ohio and think you know how to market to the whole world. All right. So should you go to university for digital marketing? Should you go to college for digital marketing? I don't think so. I think if you can afford it, you should go. If you can afford it and you don't have to pay for it, you know, you don't get that chance very often. But I'm telling you, man, if universities stay remote, if you don't get to go meet some people, if you don't get to have fun, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Be patient. Tell your parents you're going to wait. You're not going to go back to this half-assed garbage university, college education. I mean, if everyone's studying online, do you really believe people think that the value of the education is still the same? And that will trickle down to the value of the degree, okay? Go the online route instead. Consider it. Talk to your parents about it. Make a plan. But you're going to have to motivate yourself. Don't watch this whole video and think it's the easy path. It's not the easy path. It's the path to greatness, the path to freedom, and the path to having a career that you actually like, that you actually developed on your own, that you got the skills that you could navigate and pivot and ultimately create a life that you really wanted, you know? And don't forget, you're gonna have to take care of yourself as well, right? You're gonna have to get out there, you're gonna do some exercise, you're gonna have to take care of your food. All these things are starting to come into play for you, but that's a beautiful thing. And that's part of your evolution as a human being. And just be really, really careful. If you do go, student loans. Okay, I'm not going to get into student loans, but be very, very careful. You often don't realize what it is you're getting yourself into. I remember in my second week of law school, they sent the banker in and told us we could get up to $80,000 to finance our education. It seems so easy. And they're thinking, well, as long as you're going to be a lawyer, you can pay this back. But they know not everyone's going to be a lawyer anyways, yet they don't care. They're ready to sell you their debt, the loan. So you got to be very cautious of those experiences and thinking that that's just the easy answer. So make your personal action plan. I recommend you check out Tim Ferriss and Google Real World MBA. It's kind of what I'm discussing. It's kind of the alternative to going back to school. And get tighter with your finances and your understanding about opportunity cost, assets and liabilities. You can't get into the world without some understanding of business and accounting. So I would spend some time with that as well, because you don't have anyone else that's going to cover that. And a lot of times university doesn't even cover those basics of money management and such. But if you're going on your own, you might as well put that up front. That could have a big effect on everything you decide and do, right? I mean, people need to realize that you're making a big decision by going to university that's going to cost you a lot of money. And if you borrow $80,000 to go to school today and it takes you 6 to 12 years to pay it back, you're actually going to pay back like 110, 120, 140, 160. Like you're going to cause interest to grow. And it's just crazy that student loans, you can't get out of them even under a bankruptcy filing. And that in itself should tell you how nefarious this whole system is, trapping us into this idea that the college degree is the answer, that working for a big corporation is the answer. It's not the answer, kids. That's not the answer at all. That might have been the answer in the 80s and the 90s, but as soon as the internet rolled in, everything changed. And we're about 20 years into the internet, and a lot has changed, and a lot is changing. Education has changed. Work has changed. Relationships and dating has changed. Everything has changed. Don't think university is any different. Carve your own path. Be responsible and take action. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like. Subscribe if you want to know more about digital marketing and my path as a consultant. I'm always sharing my up-to-date strategies, ideas, and beliefs. Thanks for being here with me today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Good luck with your decision on university or college. And if you don't go there, well, I hope to see you in the Rich+Niche community and academy in the near future. Take care.